Hello and welcome to a very special episode of Sofa Sense's. You are joined by me, Kavan,
Me, Rush.
and it wouldn't be a special episode without a special guest. We are joined by Siju, the CEO, the founder, the kingpin at MMA TV, and he joins us today virtually online. So let's give him a warm welcome to the Sofa Sense's podcast on the akhi&saltfish digital network. So, Siju, thanks for joining us. How you doing?
No problem, no problem. Yeah, I'm good, thanks. I'm good. Can't complain.
Love it, love it. So, first of all, thanks for joining us. We really appreciate your time. And Rachel, should we get stuck straight in?
Yeah, let's go, man. Let's go.
So, tell us a little bit about yourself, Siju. You know, what's your background? How did you come to be in this room today to talk about MMA TV? What's your start?
So we will go all the way back. So let's go all the way back to the beginning. So
Yeah.
Growing up, obviously, everybody loves football. They're all about their football life.
Yeah.
And in the pub with their mates, watching football on TV, all of that. I was never into it, so I never got to partake in that. There was never really anything for me to do in regards to that sort of thing with your friends, where you all get together and watch, television and football on the TV and all get together. So that was that, which is fine. Then we fast forward a good few years. I think it was maybe, I don't know, early stages. So there was UFC. So there's a new sport, UFC comes about. Somebody introduced it to me, and I started watching it on TV. I think it might have been on, maybe even on DVDs at the time.
Oh, you're talking way back.
Yes. Finally, there's something for me to enjoy.
Yeah.
It was just, the second I saw it, it gripped me, and that was it. I was watching them as often as possible. So then it's like, okay, this is all right. I wouldn't mind trying to learn some of this stuff. So I was at university at the time, and I just typed into whatever it was. I was going to say Google, but it probably wasn't Google then. It was probably Vista or some random old school
Yahoo.com or something.
Yeah, something old school. So I typed it in anyway, and there was a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu club which came up, Milton Keynes. Cool, Milton Keynes, fine, not too far from me. So I phoned him up and spoke to the coach there. He said, "Yep, no problem, come down." So that's it. I came down, started training. At that moment in time, I was a big guy. I've been training like boxing and judo for years before, when I was a kid growing up. And I'd stopped and I was lifting weights and stuff. So I run a security company at the time, so I could look after myself. Went to training. First day, we have guys tiny. They wasn't big at all, and they were just wrapping me up.
They're the scary ones, man. They're the scary ones.
The ego was out the window, because I'm talking, what are these guys? These guys are maybe 60 kilos, 65 kilos.
Yeah.
120 kilos.
Wow.
And I'm in good shape. So half of my size, literally. But it was easy work for them. It's like, wow, this is mad. But I was loving it. And I thought, you know what, if I could be as good as these guys and I'm big, then I'll be an unstoppable force. Let me carry on with this. So that was it. I was hooked, and I carried on training. So we fast forward maybe only like 6 months to a year into training, maximum a year, maybe 6 months in. And I was lucky. I think I hit the jackpot training at that time. It's called Brazilian Top Team. Training with a lot of champions. Yeah. So it's a renowned sort of fight team, straight from Brazil. My coach was Brazilian, Zé Marcelo. He was literally one of the top guys there, world champion, etc. So he had some good credentials, but I didn't know it. I just rolled up at the first gym I found, so I did get lucky. But I was training with a lot of world champions. There was Danny Batten there. There was Alexandre Zidro. There was Premisor Maslaya. There was a lot of really good guys there. So I'm a year in, say, and I'm training with all these guys. They're world champions. They're in the big leagues. But I was thinking, gosh, you guys they're still working regular jobs. One was a postman. One was, I don't know, humping around TVs, delivery. I was like, geez, you're like world champions, but you're not getting paid, and nobody really knows who you are. So I was thinking, wow, maybe I could like do a a good job of promoting you guys or managing you guys, looking after you. So at least you wouldn't have to work. I had a decent business background. Obviously, I'd already run a successful business whilst I was at uni. So I'm still in the first year of uni there, but I'd already started the business. And I thought, you know what, I could probably use some of the skills that I've learned and manage some of you guys. So that's what I did. I took on a few guys and started looking after them. And yeah, they was doing good, winning, had sponsorship, endorsement deals, put them in a position where they didn't have to work so hard, and that sort of thing. So it was going well. So then obviously I got more clients. And then we're going to fast forward, probably, let's fast forward 4 or 5 years, because at this stage I'm at like, okay, I've got some really successful guys now. The roster's probably gone up to around 20 or 30 athletes under management now. We're a good size. People know us, but there's only so many spots on TV in the big leagues like the UFC and that. There's only so many spots on television. This is where the guys are really getting the good money. You know, if you really want to change your life, you really, really need to be on TV, but not everybody can be on television. So I was like, okay, maybe I should make my own TV, and then I can put these guys on that channel, and then people can watch them on there. Because at the time when I was thinking about it, nobody was really doing that sort of thing. There's Fight Pass, but it wasn't so big, and that was really it. So
can I ask what year this was?
So this would be 7 years ago. So this is the early days. So 7 years ago from now. So we're
2015.
Yeah, so we're in 2015 now. Any experience obviously in the TV world or anything like that. I had no clue, but I thought, well, this is the only way that I'm going to be able to get these guys on TV and increase their exposure and, you know, the deals that we can do. So that's what I did and went about it. And then MMA TV was born. I still feel quite lucky that I got that name and nobody snapped it up.
Yeah.
so that was
the
result.
name,
Yeah, it is. You know, it's a no-brainer really. But yeah, it cost a few quid, but nobody had it, so we snapped it up, and we were good to go. And that was it. That was the birth. Obviously, I had a lot of athletes on the roster. A lot of them were very successful. We worked with all the promotions already, so I went to the promotion and said, look, I'm starting a new venture. It's called MMA TV. We've already got the athletes that are obviously doing really big things. You guys will get your brand out there. You'll make money because it'll be on pay-per-view. We'll split the money down the middle, and let's do this. Everybody said yes. Every single promotion. I was working with all of them in the UK and Europe, and that was it. So all the ones were streamed online, and people went and paid to watch the fights. We got exposure, and we got the fighters on the platform what we needed, and that was it. And from then on, it grew and grew, and I didn't really think it would grow to the size that it has now, where we have deals obviously not only with pay-per-view, not only with MMA TV app and subscription. We also have linear television channels, which is 24/7. People can watch it at home on their proper TVs. So I didn't think it would grow to the size it has, but yeah, it's got legs and it's running now. So yeah, that's literally the full story.
Love that. So thanks for the overview. What we're going to do is we're going to get in some detail across that whole journey. So at the start you mentioned about not supporting a football team. Now I'm in the same boat, right? So football was never my sport either.
Okay.
I did my brothers, they had a bedroom back there which was like covered in like Manchester United wallpaper, Manchester United bed sheets, Manchester United curtains. They were obsessed, but I just never caught on for me personally. But equally, when I caught I think it was Floyd Mayweather versus Ricky Hatton was the first sort of boxing fight that was in my face, and I thought this is really interesting. Two guys talking it out and doing all this trash talk, and they're gonna fight. Like, this seems really, really cool. Caught up with that fight. Floyd Mayweather wins. Floyd Mayweather must be good. Like, is he the best? And all these sort of questions and answers. And then we're talking, I think it was 2009. I think David Haye becomes the heavyweight champion of the world. So that's like the British guy, young champion. This is great. Heavyweight champion. Does that mean they're the best ever? The scariest person, the baddest man on the planet, as the title is, and all that's really captivating. And then fast forward to uni. the Conor McGregor era starts just around that time. So MMA is now a new obsession and all these sorts of things. So obviously, you mentioned about the DVDs or the videos that caught your attention in terms of MMA. Do you remember what that first fight was?
I would assume, I don't feel like I would have watched the Royce Gracie versus, well, he was versus a lot of people. I don't feel like it was that, but I did go back and dive into that. I don't know what the first one would have been, but I would assume it would be someone like Chuck Liddell and Ortiz or something like that. I don't remember the first one, but we went back in history and watched all of them ones, you know, and up to the recent ones. But it was definitely that sort of era where Chuck Liddell was fighting Tito Ortiz. So if it wasn't for the first one, then it was definitely like, you know, the second one for sure. I was around for a while while the second one came about. Love
that. And what if you could delve into your own mind, what do you think it was that captivated you about that sport?
I like individual sports. I don't like team sports so much because I don't want to be the guy that's putting in all the work and we either win or we lose, you know.
Yeah.
But it's not on me. So I'd rather it's on me. If I win or lose, then it's my own fault. So that's how I like it. So because that's the position you're in when you're fighting in mixed martial arts, all the pressure's on you, and I like that. You know,
I think that's a good mindset to have.
And I grew up in mixed. I grew up in martial arts. I grew up boxing and I grew up with judo, and I was decent at both of them. So it was a natural progression to find something at some point along the way. And it wasn't really judo and it wasn't boxing because I wasn't fully into them. Otherwise, I would have carried on doing them. But mixed martial arts, well, that's what I've done. It's groundwork and it's stand up. You can't really go wrong with that. So yeah, it got me.
The first time I heard about MMA and UFC was, you remember BST?
Yeah.
It was the gym. I remember that, like going early, probably secondary school time now. Everyone's talking about new gym open up, BST. You can learn all this fighting, different types, all in one. That's when the hype was for me, to be honest.
Okay.
That was
well, I'm the founder of that gym, so there you go.
Yeah.
Go on.
Yeah. So I remember that, man.
We could go into that. That was after the management style. I also wanted a place for my athletes to train.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, you know what? I've been to Vegas a lot of times, and Randy Couture had a really, really nice gym.
Yeah.
One of the best of its kind. I used to go there all the time. Always used to go to Randy's gym. I was like, do you know what? I'm just going to recreate this gym. I'm basically going to copy it and bring it to England. And nobody's got one as big as it, as nice as it. I made sure we done everything the best. And yeah, we grew that gym. And yeah, I brought in every single coach from day one, really. So yeah, there you go.
So
no way. So what? You helped build BST, the gym?
Yep, from scratch, from day one. Yep,
No
I'm the founder of BST, Blood, Sweat and Tears Mixed Martial Arts.
Yeah.
Go on.
That is.
Are you still involved with the new? Is it Bostock Avenue? Is it?
No.
It's
Bostock House.
New Sainsbury's, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. So Greg is he runs it all. So I never actually run the gym. I always had like partners and stuff, but yeah, Greg's the man. He's doing a great job down there right now. So yeah.
One thing I'll say about BST as well is, MMA stuff aside, it's the best equipped gym in Northampton. Yeah. If you're not interested in any of the martial arts, but you just want to lift weights, it's the best equipped one as well. So that's always really, and it's interesting because you mentioned, you wanted to do it the best and you wanted to make sure we had the best facilities. How long has that been part of your DNA? Because I'm sensing a theme where, it could be easy to complain about the problem, but you're really invested in being a part of the solution. So when did that become part of your DNA and part of who you are? Or has that always been the case?
Well, I guess it's always been in my DNA, I guess. I'm one of them ones that I never really think about, any of the issues. I think, okay, if I want to do it, then I'll just do it, which is exactly the situation I'm in now. Even now, 7 years in, I'm not claiming to be some big TV executive, even though I'm in a position that maybe that's something that I could be jumping up and down about. I don't feel like I know enough about the TV world, but I know what I like and I know what the fans want. And if anybody glimpsed of the, our 24/7 linear channel, I built that channel up with with my bare hands. You know, everything on there is absolutely amazing. If you've watched it and you're an MMA fan, you will be absolutely loving that channel. It will continue to go like that, and you ain't got to pay a dime or a penny for it. It's got premium content. We're on Samsung TV Plus, channel 4560. If any of you have got a Samsung
Love
TV
that
set,
Yeah.
check it out, because it really is a top-notch channel. It's got pure premium content on there. We don't hold anything back. We're not trying to put that behind a paywall. It's got lots of decent stuff on there. So I just dive into it. And it's the same with the management. I was only training for a little while before I got involved with that. And I just went on head first and just steamed in. And you have your issues and you have your problems, but I love solving problems. And it's definitely the journey that I enjoy.
Yeah. So I'm gonna I suppose let you into a secret now. Rochelle and I, we've never owned a TV company or a security company. So on a real level, we're interested in getting a little bit behind the scenes of how that all works. So that security company, which by the way you said you set up during uni, is that right?
Yeah, first year in uni, I was here for 6 months, and helped a friend out. Didn't want to do it though. I wasn't into it. I wasn't up for that at all. I didn't want to be a security guard or a doorman, because that's what it was at all. Helped him out 1 week. Then obviously he's like, oh, you do me a favor the next week. Helped him out next week. Oh, can you help me out again? And it's sort of like, you're there after 3 weeks, 4 weeks, you know what he's going to ask. Decent money. And then after that, it was helping the owner. He's like, oh, can you get a couple guys for me? So now I helped out. Now he wanted me to help get a couple guys. So I got a couple guys. They liked a couple guys. After that, I was like, do you know what? I can help you get a couple of guys, but I'll need to basically charge you for it. So he's like, yep, no problem. You can charge us for it, and you can pay them what you want. Obviously, the difference is mine. Great. That was it. I owned my own company from then on and started, doing the same thing on a brighter scale. And from that time, within the next probably two years, it went from me to 300 people. So, and that was up and down the country.
Crazy.
So, yeah, that was my first.
You did that during uni as well?
Yeah, well, Northampton. So that's what it is. I wasn't from Northampton. I went to uni in Northampton, and that's where I started.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah,
what did you study?
Accounting and finance.
Same here.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah, I did.
That's crazy. Crazy. Yeah. So, yep, that's the course I done. And I stuck around.
You think the course helped you run your businesses and the financials?
I don't think so. Because I have an accountant. Yeah. So it didn't really help me in that aspect where I'm sat there doing my own accounts. But it's a hard course. It's not a joke course. That's a proper course. 100%. There's no one, because I go to uni and I can lift up the curtain. Uni is quite easy for people if they think it's really tough. It's not really that tough. But there's certain courses that are really difficult, and that is one of them. You can't mess around. You can't take notes into your exams or anything like that.
Yeah.
You're doing a proper 3-hour course, and you got 9, 10, 11 exams to do, and that's difficult for anybody. So yeah, it helped me to know that, I can probably do anything, but I wasn't sitting there trying to do my own accounts and stuff like that. I had an accountant from day one doing all of that stuff, but. Yeah, I suppose it helped me with finance and know what I'm doing, but I wouldn't say it was a core thing.
So let's, if you don't mind, a couple more details on. So what are some of the challenges that come along with a security business then, and what are the day-to-day things that you're encountering? Because I can only imagine managing 300 people all across the country, bars with different locations, different clientele, different expectations. You're 18, 19, 20, I'm imagining.
Yeah, I was probably around, 19, at the time. Yeah.
So you're a teenager. Not to minimize, but you're a teenager.
I was pretty big.
Yeah.
So people thought I was older than I was, and they're probably still shocked now. They see me now and they're like, geez, you have an age. And they're like 60, and I'm still young, way younger than them. What's going on? So, yeah.
So what's it teaching you then? What are the sort of core fundamentals that it's teaching you day in, day out?
Oh, a lot. Yeah, a lot. Those businesses are they are difficult. When you're managing people, it's a very difficult thing. You never master it because you've got so many people and everybody thinks that it's only their issue when it's them. I'm going to go in sick tonight. They think it's just them. But everybody's got that same mentality. Before you know it, there's 30 people going sick in one night. And now you've got some serious issues trying to solve that, making sure that you've got the cover for the work. But in the earlier days, I think the most hardest thing that hit me was regulation. At the time I started, I was lucky that I ran towards the regulation, which was the badges. When I first started, there was a lot of thugs around, big guys. Most of them have been in trouble. They're more thuggy, want the fight. I brought a different sort of flavor to it because, again, I used to go to Vegas a lot and I used to see how they used to operate. Very smart, very smartly dressed, very cool, more talking and more skillful. So I was training at the time as well. So I made sure that all the guys that I had were more trained. I used to train them on the weekends. So on a Sunday, I would train them all up to do like Brazilian jiu-jitsu and get them so that they know how to do like holds and locks. So it's not like, oh, I'm going to punch him in the face and knock him out. You know,
leg lock him on the corner
like that. Let's restrain him, or let's talk to him first, because you need to be able to be polite and smart. Because I got a lot of the guys from uni. Be polite, be smart, talk to them nicely, and things will be okay. If you do need to, eject anybody, then you do it in a very controlled and calm manner. Obviously, the bars like it because it was night and day to what they're used to. Yeah. So everybody had a badge because nobody had criminal records or been in trouble with the law. So we was just a completely different sort of company to a lot of the ones that the town had been used to. So we run towards a regulation. We were all badged. And then what happened? Everybody had to have a badge. We were ahead of the game. All our guys were badged. So we got a lot of work with that. And the same with the SIA when that really started to hit. So we were light years ahead. But what did happen is we needed another level, which is the ISO 5000s and the hardcore sort of big business qualifications and stuff that you needed. So we went to this really big meeting. I think it is Whitbread, which ran all the Weatherspoons and all of those type of bars. Went to a massive meeting in Birmingham with that. Had a couple bits of paperwork, but nothing major. Got there, they're asking me all this stuff. We need this, we need that. ISO 9001. I have no clue what that is. I probably looked very silly. I didn't know what any of the stuff was. BS this and BS that. Like, I haven't got any of that. So I had a lot of bars at the time. Because I didn't have the work, we lost the contract, which was a good few bars that we had. Lost a whole heap of money, a whole heap of work. Effectively in 2 weeks' time, you're done. It's like, oh, wow. This is crazy. So that was probably one of the biggest challenges going through that. It wasn't the early stages, but it was in the middle. We built up quite a big company at that point, and it just was like, seemed like it had the rug pulled under our feet immediately. So that was really challenging. I would say learning that and to running towards regulation, the learning process there allowed us to grow into a really good sized company. And I think that helped us the most in order to carry on in business.
Wicked. Thanks for that background as well. That's really it's informative, because I think what it helps me understand now is I'm seeing the link between security and combat sports in general. When you was talking about training the guys up, I thought, wait there. Julian Francis, do you remember the guy outside Box Park in Wembley? I think it was. Former boxer, fought Mike Tyson, and he was really, really patient until he felt in danger. And I think you could see the level of training that he had, and obviously since then he's been completely vindicated. Preemptive strike, I think it was called. His employers got him back. He's got his badge. Everything's fine. But that was a massive viral moment for combat sports and for security work. And I think it's really interesting now, looking at your journey, how closely the two industries interact. So in your experience then, would you say that a lot of doormen are trained, or is it just a size thing in your experience?
I would say normally it's a size thing. I don't believe many are trained even till today, especially today. Actually, I wouldn't say the sort of game has gone backwards, in my opinion, rather than forwards. At least when I was doing it, the money was really good, less competition. These days, people know they can get a badge and they can get a job. So they're just doing the course to get the badge, to get the work. It doesn't mean they're qualified. They're normally, untrained guys, normally not even big guys these days. So what happens then? The price that you get paid goes down. So now, back in the day when you're getting 15, 20 pounds an hour, well, you've got some guy that just done the course and he'll charge you £7 or £8 an hour.
Yeah.
This is this is no good. Then the people want to pay the company £10 an hour. So you've got no choice. There's no leeway in it, and you don't get the quality of the staff, and that's that's an issue in my opinion.
Take us to that venture into MMA then. So you're training. You've got this business experience under your belt. What's the problem that you're seeing? I know you mentioned pay of fighters, which is, to be honest, still a topic of conversation now, even in the biggest leagues. But like, because we see it as guys show up, they fight, and they get paid. That's all we really know. Even like know a little bit about sponsorship and how it's changed now, particularly with the UFC and the uniform policy, how that's affected their sponsorship and that sort of stuff. But what's it like outside of the UFC? What is payment like? What are the payment structures like for fighters?
It depends where you go, but the payment is always pretty low until you get to a decent sized league. When you're in a decent sized league, then obviously the pay it gets better. All it depends on is exposure and what sort of character you are, really. If you can bring the numbers in, then you're going to get paid decent money. If you've got good exposure on television, social media, then your pay will go up in relation to that. And that is really the bottom line. And it's still the case now. Look at Conor McGregor. He's not
he's smashed it with that,
fighter in the world because he's got the best character in the world. He backs it up in the cage. But he doesn't even need to back it up in the cage now. He just needs to carry on with the persona, and he gets paid more than anybody else. And this is the game. As long as you've got good exposure, which goes back to the whole point of what we were trying to do, then you get paid more.
So how did you go about boosting that persona?
Well, when you're on television, people watch you. When you're not on TV, nobody can watch you, even if they want to. So that addresses that off the bat. So then now you can't be seen. It's a dark sport. Now you can be seen because we brought it to the light. So instantly you're more popular. For us, we got people like, if you go onto our YouTube channel, MMA TV, you'll see the views there with the athletes. Plenty of athletes that's been on our channel have been signed to the big leagues just because they've got 6 million views on YouTube and they've been seen everywhere. So people are like, oh wow, who's this guy? God, he's got 6 million views. He must be popular. Let's sign him. You know what I mean? Let's get him on the thing. And that's what we're here to do. We're here to boost the exposure and character of the athletes and make sure more people can see them.
Yeah. Are you coaching them along, or are you identifying the characters and giving them a platform, or is it a matter of you creating these characters?
So me personally, I would look for the best athletes, and I'll bring out their character, even if they're quiet. They have a character. It's a quiet character. As long as people see them, that helps with the development of their character, and that's it. I don't look for a character who can't fight. That's never going to be any good, and it's not what I do. I bring on people that, for the management side of things, that can fight, and we bring out the character. Well, TV would be different. TV, you want characters, but then you would put them in a different position where it's not necessarily about the fighting, it's about outside of the fighting. So stuff like Find a Star, Fighters Go Dating. This includes combat sports athletes, but it's not geared in the cage. It's more outside of the cage. And this is what I'm bringing the casual fans on and have an interest into combat sports and mixed martial arts. So
you may say casual fans, you may say armchair experts, you may say couch coaches, or you may even say Sofa Senseis. We're definitely, I think, your target market for the Fighters Go Dating type of show. Rachel, I know you got a few questions about that.
But before that, I was going to say, you had the idea in 2015 about the MMA TV. How did you what did you do first thing? Like, I wouldn't know how to start up a business or the links. Who'd you call? Did you get any advice, any mentors?
I wish that would have been great. I'd have a mentor now. We just have to dive in head first. So technology was the first initial thing. Had to get the technology right. Had so many nightmares with that. So many nightmares. That was a really difficult thing to overcome, but it took probably 3 years to get the technology exactly how we want it.
What do you mean by technology? What sort of things are we
So
talking
imagine
about?
this: we need to stream an event on the internet when no one's streaming events on the internet. So we got to figure out how we're going to stream it. We've got to figure out how we're going to do it. I don't really know. I haven't got a clue. You have to go on the internet, Google it, and try and find out the best way of doing it. Trial and error, trial and error, trial and error, trial and error. Mess up till you get it right. Probably took us 3 years till we got it right, got a good team together and knew what they're doing. And then that takes the problems and the issues off of that. So that's what we did there. That was the toughest part. It's always the toughest part. And now we're live. Well, it was live then, but now we're still live, and it's not like, oh yeah, it'll be fine. Things always go wrong when it's live. Anything can happen. So we've still got the stresses. We're not like in the like easy lane. It's still stressful. Every event that we do, we just have a lot more events. We have a lot more experience, and it is a lot more stress, but there's still an element of stress there.
Give us an idea, if you can, of the scale of the team, the production team in particular. Who's managing this technology? And
so the production team, we have maybe 10 people. So 10 people will be taking care. So when we do production team, so we're filming, we're doing everything. So we go from top to bottom. So we go there, we film events, wherever it is, can be around the world. We've been to, Italy before, we've been to UAE before, we've been all over. So they go there, they film it. That team will take care of the actual production of the events. Then we've got a separate team which will take care of the streaming of the events. And then we've got the back house will then take care of all the content that we get from the streaming and push it out there to our events in real time. So everybody has a place, everybody knows what they're doing, and at this point it's quite, I don't have to really think about it. I know that it will be taken care of. So it's a lot less
beautiful
stressful.
thing, isn't it?
Yeah, it's hard, 100% of the battle really. It's so stressful. If I have to think about anything, it drives me crazy, really.
If money was no object, is there any element of that production world that you'd outsource, or do you like doing it in house?
I would outsource it all.
Because
I would outsource it all. There's so much thing I would do if money was not an issue, because money is always an issue in this game. It's a very, very expensive thing. Self-funded by myself still till today. It's very, very expensive. If I had infinite amount of money, it would be easy. It would be easy. I would just sew everything up. I'd buy the rights to everything that I'd want to buy the rights to, and that would be that. But we got to go the long route.
The reason I ask is because so keeping an eye on boxing. A couple of years ago, Matchroom Boxing were with Sky. Sky produced all the content. They were the, like I said, the producers are everything. Matchroom just provided the shows. They were paid to provide the shows. But Sky made the content surrounding those shows. Matchroom decided to move to DAZN. And one of their key reasons, they said, was because they wanted to control the production themselves. Actually, as it happens, Eddie Hearn's sister is the head of production at Matchroom, so it makes sense to keep it all in house because they all get to make more money effectively. So it was interesting to see, your perspective based on that story there in public. But obviously, Matchroom are an outfit with a silly amount of money. I mean, their accounts are public. It's just silly. The Anthony Joshua era definitely propped them up, and I'm sure they'll be grateful to him for a long time. But it's really interesting looking at the difference between boxing and MMA, because I feel like as great as the UFC have been for MMA, and I'm grateful as a fan, as a Sofa Sensei, I'm definitely grateful to the UFC. It does make the barrier to entry a lot higher for other organizations, I feel, because of the positioning that the UFC has and how few positions there are across the whole game. Does that resonate with your experience at all?
Well, there's a couple of different questions there. Let me go to the UFC, because that's definitely my area of expertise. They've written the blueprint for how you run this sort of game, how you run things. People can copy it, and people should copy it, but people don't seem to be able to get it right for whatever reason. You don't need an infinite amount of money to do what they do, but you need to have an emphasis and focus on quality and storytelling. And I feel like that's where most people slip up. It's very, I tell you who does it good in boxing. Obviously, I'm sure you've watched the Mayweather countdowns, the 24/7.
Oh yeah. Showtime.
They're the thickest part of the whole fight. We're all waiting for them. Well, I'm waiting for them.
100%.
The UFC do it great as well. The countdown shows they do.
Embedded amazing.
Shows.
Yeah.
Exactly. This is it. Who else? Who else is doing it? Jeez.
Yeah. I mean, you see it. This is the thing. You see it with the odd super fight. So you might even see it. Okay, Eubank Ben. We saw a couple, build-ups there, but it's not consistent. So you can't really buy into the grassroots. Whereas if I'm watching, 280 embedded, those 5 episodes, I'm seeing guys on the undercard that I would have never otherwise have encountered, and I'm invested in them now because they did this random thing like pack a rope with their suitcase, and now I want to see if that brought them good luck or not. Those little details there are really, really great, and I think judging by the sort of things you're trying to do with MMA TV, you're definitely on the right path to try and capture us as an audience. And I think that brings us perfectly back round to fighters looking for love. So
yeah, fighters go dating. When did you get the idea for that?
Mate, we're blasting so much stuff out. So I'm on the whole team now. Give me ideas. You know what I mean? Anyone that wants something, give me some ideas. I'm trying to get ideas from everyone because, letting the box out the bag, content moving forward is a major, major thing for us. And we want all the different ideas we can because that's the only thing that's going to bring people in consistently. Everybody wants new stuff. Fighters go dating. It will be fun. It will be a laugh. There's already some crazy characters on there. I can't wait to get it out there. But that's just one thing. I want as much as I can get. If it was up to me, I'd have 10 new shows a month coming out.
Yeah.
And I'm building an additional team now just to get this content and to keep things pumping out. So Fighters Go Dating, that come about just by brainstorming. We've got a few ideas and we're brainstorming all the time to make new stuff.
How were the fighters? Any fighters you asked for? How did they take that to be on the show?
Well, we actually had a casting call, so we put it out like we always do. Same with Find a Star. We have a casting call. The team put out a casting call, put it in the papers, put it online, etc., and then we get the applicants in, and then my team deals with the applicants, and then we pick, a select few, and that's how we run it. So
I can't wait to watch it. When does it get released?
I'm hoping to get it out by the end of the year. So let's see how that pans out. Yeah, let's see how that pans out. But I'm hoping by the end of the year because I just want to keep going. I want to get the next season of that out ASAP. So I need that time to run. So I want to get it done as soon as I can. Yeah.
I can see a number of shows. Fighters go cooking. Fighters do cooking, baking, everything. I can see
exactly. See, we're gonna keep it rolling. This is the thing. We keep it rolling. Any ideas? You let me know. You message me and we'll get it done. We'll
give you a shout.
100%.
We're coming up with things all the time that we again, if money was no object and time was infinite, the amount of things we'd be doing. But you have to pick your battles, right?
Yeah.
And I think you're picking the right battles. I think in creating characters around these fighters, because those fighters can and will go anywhere. But MMA TV can equally go anywhere as well and produce content around anything around these fighters, even following their journey up to, wherever. The UFC's the flagship one. Like 100%. Dana White's looking for a fight is one of my best favorite pieces of content.
Yeah.
Just that grassroots looking for content, and then when you're in an area doing fun things around that area, even BST for a day, those little things. We'll give you a shout and we'll share some ideas.
Yeah, 100%. Let me know on it.
One thing we've gone consistently back to is the character that a fighter needs to be. So a quick question for you, Siju, is I think, to be honest with you, as SOFA Senseis, Rochelle and I probably both wanted to be fighters at one point in our lives, right?
100%.
But it hasn't happened. It won't happen. I'm not that brave, right? I'm not that brave. That's me being honest. But what would be your fighter nickname?
I don't think I'd have one.
You wouldn't have one? Oh wow, that's.
So. I've fought plenty, and I haven't got a nickname now, so I don't think I'll get one out the blue now. You know what I mean?
I hear that. I mean, okay. So what are some of the best nicknames you've heard of all the fighters you've encountered? What's some of the best nicknames?
Best nicknames. I don't know. I'm not too sure. I don't know. It's a difficult one. The best nicknames. I don't know. I like the Iceman. That sounds good. Chuck Liddell.
Yeah.
That's decent. You know what I mean?
I think it's better than the
sounds good. Rampage Jackson.
Oh yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one.
That works all the time.
Because you think his name's actually Rampage until you realise it's not.
Yeah, and I like that. You know, I like that. That's cool.
Yeah. Fair enough. I mean, some of the ones that aren't so good. Huntington Beach Bad Boy. Didn't think that was that great. Preferred the Iceman for sure. And Garner's got a cool one. The Predator.
The Predator. Yeah,
that's scary. That's scary.
That was good, especially when he had the long dreads. That was
yeah.
Intimidating.
Yeah. All right. Well, Rachel, what about you? What would be your nickname?
You know, I'm on the same boat. You know, after you said it, no nickname, man. I want everyone to know my name, my real name, when I'm fighting. I want them to know. So probably no nickname. You know, I did say R. but that's just a funny play on. Bro. That's a dead. No. Yeah. But how about
I don't would be great for you.
I don't care.
Yeah. Rachel's last name is Care, so you know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Rachel.
I don't care.
Yeah. For me, I mean, it's got to be something like Lion, right? Because my last name is Brian, so it's got to rhyme. There's got to be that rhythm there. It's got to be Brian, I think. Or Lion, sorry.
Lion. I don't know about
the Lion.
The Lion. No, that's cringy.
No. Well, man said R. though. Come on. But yeah. So it's been really great talking to you. So what we're gonna do is we'll end the show there, but we've got a bonus episode as well. So that'll just like 6 questions. So make sure. Oh, you still there? Oh, I think connection might have got us. But
I'm here.
Oh, wicked. So we'll catch up with Siju next week where we ask him our bonus questions, getting to know him a little bit more, who his influences are, and who has the most potential in his life. So make sure you tune in next week for that. But until then, that has been Sofa Senseis on the Akhi&saltfish Digital Network. You've been joined by me, Kavan.
Me, Rash.
And Siju from MMA TV. Make sure you check them out. And it's been fantastic talking to you. Thanks so much for your time.
Thank you.
If you want to get in touch with us, please don't hesitate to contact us on Sofa Senseis on Instagram, Akhi&saltfish on Twitter, or email akhi&saltfish@gmail.com if you've got any questions or comments. See you next time.